Tom from Outside Van. If you have one of our new model vans, I want to show you how to do a winterization on that. Come with me, let's go do it. All right, so we're sitting here in a Parks van. With your van, you received a city water fill piece. You might recognize this if you've already used it. And then 2 pieces that came with your kit for winterization. That's an air fitting attachment to your city water and a regulator to put the air into the system. First, we're gonna put the fitting onto my city water piece. It just threads on the same way you would a garden hose. And it has a quick disconnect that's gonna go to my regulator. The regulator piece, I'm gonna pull back the collar, press it on firmly and release the collar. Now I'm attached with a regulator to this. This is gonna go onto my city water attachment on the side of the van. When we connect this to our city water fill, it works the same way as when we were filling the tank. Goes in just like this, twist locks in, then we're gonna introduce the air. We're gonna use an external air source, which you can do from any air compressor you have available. If your van has an air compressor built in, you can certainly use that. When I introduce the air, my regulator here is gonna tell me how much pressure I have. And that needle is gonna come up as the pressure builds. I can adjust it here, what we'll pull out on this, and turn it, and I can increase or decrease the air pressure. What we're looking for is something about 30 PSI, and then lock that back in place. When I open this valve, it's actually gonna allow that air pressure to go into my system and blow out all of the lines of my water system. The first step to winterizing the van is to get the water out of the freshwater tank. Here in the parks, we see the freshwater tank here. On all of the vans, you'll have a valve that's labeled tank drain. I want to open that valve. That's going to allow any water that's in my tank to run down out onto the ground. I also want to drain the lines. Once the tank is done draining, I'm going to want to open up my sink valves and find my low point drains. I have a hot low point drain and a cold low point drain. Again, we're in a parks, that's where they're located here, but they're gonna be located in different places in the Syncline and other subsequent models. Once the water tank is done draining, we wanna identify our water pump switch. On the parks model, it's located here where your water system is. You can see it's highlighted blue. On some of the models, it's just gonna be a simple toggle switch. We're gonna turn that pump on before we bring air into the system to try and push as much water out. And as soon as the pump is pumped as much water out, we're gonna go to the outside, we're gonna tune the blue valve on our city water fill, and that's gonna let the air in to blow out the lines and chase all the water out. Now that I've got air available coming into the side of the van, I wanna go into my van and I wanna open up all of my water sources. Open up my sinks in a warm position to on, open up my showers to the on position in warm. I'm gonna do that with the front sink, the water box on my sink lines, and both the rear shower and rear sink in my parks. If you have a van that has a toilet that's plumbed into the water system for the flush feature, you will have a flush control. In that case, it's a momentary button, which I will want to push and hold while I have the air pressure in the system to blow out the lines that go to my toilet. You'll know you finished winterizing when nothing but air is coming out of any of my water outlets. Once I see that, I can turn off the blue valve on my city water fill to turn off the air. I can close all my valves down and I can disconnect the water fill itself. If you have any questions or if any of this is confusing, please give us a call and we'll walk you through it as best we can in person.